July 16, 1945. The world witnessed something unprecedented. The first atomic bomb had been successfully detonated. Robert Oppenheimer and his team had achieved what no one else could. The United States now possessed a weapon of unimaginable power, a nuclear weapon that no other nation had. But they did not stop there. They pressed forward, preparing not one, but 3 different bombs. Little Boy, Fat Man, and a fourth, whose name remains unknown. A question lingered in the air. Shouldn't the world know that we are the only ones with such power? And the targets, they were perfect in their innocence. People who knew nothing, who had no warning. These were the lives that would unknowingly face the atomic fury that would fall on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. World War II was nearing its end. Germany had surrendered. But Japan still resisted. Both the United States and Russia sought to invade. Russia was making progress, establishing army bases across Japanese territory. The United States, however, wanted to force Japan's surrender before Russia could gain more ground. And they had a weapon that could unleash the power of the sun itself. A small letter was written. "We have a weapon. If you resist, your city will be completely destroyed." Japan never responded. Revenge for Pearl Harbor, the demonstration of power to the world, these were motivations that weighed heavily on the United States. The decision was made. An atomic bomb would be dropped on Japan to assert dominance and send a message to the world. Then, Franklin D. Roosevelt passed away. Harry S. Truman became the new president, and the world held its breath. Over 100 scientists who had worked on the Manhattan Project wrote to him, urging him not to kill innocent people for the sake of power. They warned, "Do not drop this bomb." Among them were friends of Einstein, the very minds who had conceived the atomic bomb in theory. Yet, the plans moved forward. 2 bombs were prepared, 4 targets chosen: Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Kokura, and Kyoto. Kyoto had cultural importance. Destroying it would erase centuries of Japanese history. Advisors convinced Truman to replace Kyoto with Hiroshima, and so the plan was set. By July, just a month after the Trinity test, the bombs were being assembled. Little Boy, made of uranium, over 10 feet long, 65 kilograms of material, carefully crafted to reach critical mass with a simple gun trigger method. Fat Man, a plutonium bomb, 62 kilograms of plutonium compressed by explosives into a tiny sphere, with a beryllium initiator to ignite the reaction, both ready to unleash devastation. Japan was asked again to surrender. They did not, so the attack was set. Hiroshima, 8 a.m., August 1st, originally Kyoto, but fate had chosen Hiroshima. The plane, the P-29, named Enola Gay in memory of the pilot's mother, carried Little Boy. 2 other planes accompanied it to check the weather. The flight was perilous. The plane had suffered damage on previous tests, and winds made the journey treacherous. Key components of Little Boy were carefully installed mid-flight. As they approached Hiroshima, the skies cleared. The target was the Aioi Bridge, a T-shaped structure in the heart of the city. And then, 8:15 a.m., Little Boy fell, 44 seconds to the ground. It was designed to explode at 1,800 feet above the city to maximize destruction. The bomb veered slightly, missing the bridge by 200 meters. Then, with a blinding flash, it detonated. The heat was like a miniature sun. The hypocenter, the exact spot beneath the explosion, was obliterated. Not even a worm, not a blade of grass, remained. The bomb released the energy of 15,000 tons of TNT. Firestorms raged across 4 kilometers. Those within the range suffered third-degree burns instantly. A mushroom cloud, 12 kilometers high, rose like a tower to the heavens. Within 2 kilometers, humans were vaporized. The sheer radiant heat bleached walls turned human figures into shadows. Death toll estimates 70,000 to 80,000, and yet radiation was the silent killer. In the following days, survivors' skin peeled, organs failed, and cancer spread through their bodies. Doctors were powerless, confused, unable to treat the invisible poison. 40,000 additional deaths came from radiation alone, affecting nearly 120,000 people. Japan still refused to surrender. Meanwhile, Russia contemplated a peace treaty, and rumors swirled that Japan had its own bomb. So the United States prepared the next strike, Fat Man. August 6th, Hiroshima. August 9th, Kokura. Fat Man, an implosion-type weapon, loaded onto a plane, rose to 31,000 feet. Clouds covered Kokura. The crew waited. When the sky did not clear, they diverted to Nagasaki. Fat Man fell, exploded at 1,500 feet, and in an instant, tens of thousands perished. Radiation claimed many more lives afterward. Together, these bombs killed nearly 200,000 people. Little Boy released 15,000 tons of TNT. Fat Man, 21,000 tons. Even with slightly less uranium, the plutonium bomb's destructive power was greater. Japan's emperor had no choice but to surrender unconditionally. The war ended. Yet, the question lingered: why so many lives lost? Truman's reasoning was cold but straightforward. Continuing the war would have caused even more deaths. The world was forced to witness both the swift and the unthinkable. Survivors, the Hibakusha, faced isolation and discrimination. Radiation lingered in water, soil, and their bodies. Children like 2-year-old Satoshi Sakaki succumbed to leukemia. Others folded thousands of origami cranes, praying for life, for peace, small symbols of hope amid unimaginable suffering. The war ended, but the scars remained. Cities rebuilt, lives healed, yet the memory of Hiroshima and Nagasaki continues to remind humanity of the fragility of life and the danger of unchecked power. And the story did not end there. The atomic bomb, simple in principle, had inspired the creation of even more powerful weapons. Hydrogen bombs, 100 times stronger, would follow. Humanity had glimpsed a force capable of unmatched destruction. How, why, and to what end? That we continue to see.